Hello friends, my name is Masood. Today we shall discuss about a topic project scope management. Friend, today's topic is very interesting and very important with respect to project management, especially if you are a student of PMP or you are planning to give exam of project management in near future. So this is a very interesting and important topic for you. So let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you. So let's start, friend. Friend, project scope management, this is a topic or knowledge area which we have taken from the PMBOK guide, project management body of knowledge, PMBOK guide. This is basically a book issued by PMI, and this book defines the standards and industry best practices for project management. So one of the knowledge area is basically of project scope management. Now what is scope management basically, friend? Project scope management drives the scope of work to complete during the project. It's essential as it sets boundaries to the amount of work that can be included in one project. Basically, friend, as a project manager, we have to deal with many aspects of a project. For example, communication, risk, issues, cost, time, stakeholders. So one of the aspect is basically the scope. We can say no doubt we can say the most important, very important factor or aspect of a project is scope. Now what is a scope actually for a project? Scope means it defines the boundaries which you are going to deliver actually. Now whenever we are going to implement a project, first we have to define the scope, that what actually we are going to deliver to the customer actually. So that is called as scope. Scope defines the boundaries for the work which we are going to deliver. Okay, so that is called as the concept of scope. Now what is project scope management? That is basically the knowledge area as per the definition of PMBOK guide. It defines that how we as a project manager, how we can manage the scope of work, how we can manage the scope or things which we are going to deliver to the customer. So first thing is scope management planning. It involves the creation of the scope management plan. It usually included in the project management plan. So basically, friend, first thing is that we have to make a scope management plan. Now what is a scope management plan? It is a part of project management plan, and it defines that how will you manage the scope or deliverables. Okay, first we have to do the planning. Planning defines that how you will manage the scope. What is scope? Scope is the deliverables actually. Then requirement collection involve gathering detailed requirement to define the deliverables, features and project scope with stakeholder. The next thing is that first thing you have to do the planning, then you have to define you have to collect the requirements. From where you have to collect the requirement? From the customer, stakeholders, that you will meet with them, you will sit with them and make a scope document actually. Scope definition is about the preparation of the detailed description of the project scope. It helps to uncover the hidden risk and other issues. Basically, once you start gathering the requirements, then you will make the scope document. Scope document is basically the detailed document which defines the scope or deliverables which you are going to deliver, and also you will get knowledge about the risk, issues, problems definitely, and the objectives of the customer, that why he wants to implement the project actually. WBS creation, basically it is called as work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure is basically graphical breakdown of your project into components. Work breakdown structure, very common phrase about work breakdown structure is break and win, divide and rule. Basically, divide and rule means basically, friend, whenever we talk about a scope, it's a very broader term actually. So we have to make the work breakdown structure. That means we have to divide the scope of a project into smaller pieces so that we can estimate and we can control, we can manage the scope of work. Okay, remember, friend, one thing, that you will divide the scope till we can reach at some level at which we can estimate the task and activities. Okay, so that is called as basically the concept of WBS creation. The next one is the scope validation. Scope validation is about approving and accepting the released project deliverables by project stakeholders. That means scope validation is basically, just think of that, once the project deliverables are released, so the project stakeholders approve it and accept it. So that is called as a scope validation. Remember, scope validation means that whatever the scope was agreed as per the scope document, we have to validate that okay, this is the right thing, this is exactly what we have agreed and signed the scope document. Then the scope control. Scope control is a revision of a scope statement to ensure that the project work was completed within the set requirements. So basically, scope control means that, for example, you have to control the scope. Controlling means that as per the scope document, it was decided that you will deliver 5 modules to the customer. Now the customer is saying that he needs 2 more modules. So what you will do as per the scope control, you will definitely say customer that if you want to add 2 more additional modules, so it will consider as a change request. So scope control means that you have a control, you have a close eye on the scope document, you have a clear vision about the scope, and as per the scope you have to control the execution of a project as well, and wherever you have to take the action as per the change request, or if it's necessary, you have to take it accordingly. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video. Thank you, friends.